Hello and welcome back to J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I am your man JP, and today's video has two purposes. Number one, I'm going to give you an update and kind of address couple things that I've noticed, and then I'm going to show you a couple of weekend pickups that I got. But I'll save those second because they're not really wrestling related. I just thought they were really cool. But just a quick update. So the new job that I talked about didn't work out. I didn't like it. So I just went back to my old job. Why did I go back to my old job? I don't know. I guess I just enjoy self-abuse, I guess. I don't know. I'm kidding. No, but so I've noticed lately that because after I post these videos, I edit them using an app called YT Studio. Well, the app is also supposed to inform me whenever one of you comment or whenever I get a new subscriber or things like that. But lately it hasn't been doing that. And I thought, well, maybe people aren't digging my content anymore. Maybe people are just not watching. But then I go into my actual YouTube channel, find out that's not true. People are actually still watching. The usual people are still commenting and still watching my videos. So my guess is probably the YouTube algorithm probably just decided that it doesn't like me. I probably mentioned God on this channel. Now, I never meant for this channel to be political or religious or anything like that. It's just I wanted to do videos about wrestling, but I'm also not going to hide my faith at all. So, but I mean, I probably mentioned God, so that's probably why YouTube, the algorithm kind of flagged it. Now I'm not getting informed of when you guys are leaving comments or when I get a new subscriber or anything. You know, if I want to see the comments, I have to actually go into each individual video and look, oh, somebody left a comment. So, I don't know. But I'm going to keep plugging away, doing what I do because I like it and it's just fun and I just like doing it. So that's kind of the update. Yeah. Apart from that, nothing really has changed a lot in my personal life. You know, I'm still doing what I do, still trying to keep busy as much as I can. I'm still getting on here and doing videos whenever I can. So, anyway, so let's talk about a couple of weekend pickups I did. My wife and I, we went to a comic book convention here in town over the weekend. Now, it wasn't like a regular Comic-Con where it was huge and they had celebrities signing autographs and stuff. No, it was more just a bunch of vendors selling like old action figures and board games and comic books and things like that. Retro, nerdy stuff. I consider myself kind of that way. I think I'm consider myself like an 80s nerd, 80s and 90s nerd. I'm a sucker for old nostalgic toys and all that. So a couple things I picked up. One of them is actually back here, right here. This Hot Wheels poster. This is a reproduction. This guy was selling them for like $3, so I bought one. I just thought it was really cool. Like I said on this channel before I started playing with wrestling figures, I played with Hot Wheels. And the reason for that is because Hot Wheels, to this day, is still like a really cheap toy. And when I was a kid, it never really took very much to convince my mom to buy me a Hot Wheel. They were a buck. So I had a lot of them. I had a ton of Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I had this big green like felt bag, and it was just filled with nothing but Hot Wheels and Matchbox. I can't leave out Matchbox, but yeah, I just thought this poster would be really cool, so I picked it up, $3. And then another thing I picked up, like I said, these are not wrestling related. I just thought they were really cool. So another thing I picked up was this. It's the MASH board game. Now, I am a fan of MASH, the TV show. I have been watching MASH since I was a kid. Now, some of you out there might think, well, I didn't really care for MASH. Well, that's fine. I'm not, whatever. But I personally, I liked MASH. And I still watch MASH on occasion. Um, right now, I know it's streaming on Hulu. I usually just watch the DVDs. Because sometimes on those streaming services, they leave out certain scenes or they leave out funny parts of certain scenes. And I just would rather go with the DVD so I get to see the entire episode. But plus, I like physical media, as you all well know. In fact, I've started watching SummerSlams on DVD, the old ones. Anyway, so yeah, MASH board game, very cool. I paid about $25 for this. Now, brand new, it's worth a lot more because it's very rare. But and also Hot Wheels poster, and that was really the extent of my weekend pick. That comic book convention I was at. They did have wrestling figures, but they were all like the new Mattel figures. And I don't like Mattel. I mean, personally, I'm not into them. For one thing, even if I wanted to start collecting those, there's just so many of them. I can't see them ever being like the epic figures that LJNs are or that Hasbro are because there's just so many of them. You know, I would never be able to catch up. I would never be able to collect them all. So, plus I just don't like playing with them. There's too articulate, too many ads. I don't like them. So anyway, yeah, MASH board game, Hot Wheels poster, and the update. That was basically the main purpose of this video. Now on my next video, I think I'm going to start going into sort of my top fives. And what I mean by that is I'm going to probably start listing like my top 5 favorite heels of all time, top 5 baby faces, top 5 tag teams, you know, whatever, that kind of thing. Plus, I think I'm also going to talk about tag teams in general because tag teams is something that kind of went away after a while. I mean, they still had tag team wrestling, but in the 80s, they had a plethora of tag teams, especially in the mid to late 80s. They had just a bunch of tag. They had probably about as many tag teams as they did single wrestlers. And I really miss tag team wrestling, and I loved tag team matches. So I'm probably going to do that here pretty soon. And one of you has actually requested a specific LJN match. And I'm going to try to find a way to do that. I don't have a ring. I don't have the sling and fling ring, but I might just maybe fold up a towel and use it as a imaginary makeshift ring. I don't know. But anyway, watch for that. So that is going to do it for today. If you're new here, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it on social media. And I will see you next time.